since we're on the track of things our government does and says, let's talk about this. Well, I mean, I don't know who could have ever seen this coming down the pike, that legalizing drugs, hard drugs, possession is bad? Who would ever think that? It's so baffling to me. I'm stunned by this change of course. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic, guys.
So Oregon, which, truthfully is like the hotbed of liberalism. I mean, that whole Pacific Northwest is it's
Mhm.
everywhere. It literally is embedded in everything. Talk to people, and really, if you go, I won't say the whole state of California, but from the Bay Area, right? I mean, San Francisco,
Mhm.
Oakland is crazy, and then LA's its own kind of crazy, but anyway, so Oregon, for people that don't know and probably close their eyes because of the absurdity of this entire thing. I think it was 2020 they decriminalized, or maybe it was 2021. They decriminalized everything up to and including, I think, black tar heroin.
Yeah,
Possession
yeah,
and
I have
use.
like I have a
Yeah.
partial list. You ready? Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Synthetic, they okayed, decriminalized, synthetic opioid fentanyl, as well as heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine. Sounds like a
Yeah.
great idea. Go on.
So the idea was that if you gave people access to it, then it could be regulated and, oh, by the way, taxed. It was supposed to be a moneymaker for the state that they were going to turn around and use for treatment programs for people on the very same drugs. It's kind of like how the lottery money is supposed to go to education and tolls
Mhm.
are supposed to fix the highways, and none of that seems to be working. Anyway, this one was for that. And they didn't regulate it well. They didn't none of it worked out the way it was supposed to. The only thing that came out of it, which is what anybody with a half a brain anticipated, was
Mhm.
overdose deaths skyrocketed
Right.
through the roof.
Yep.
And that's why they flipped this over. It's like this whole, well, we defunded the police and we shrunk
Mm.
the police force, and then we decriminalized drugs, and now all these people are dying. We don't understand what happened.
It's
Yeah,
so weird. So strange.
I can't.
And and I'm not laughing because it's funny. This is like horrified laugh. It's like gallows humor. Like you have to laugh because the insanity of it will make you scream. The stupidity, never mind insanity, the stupidity, the greediness, the callousness, the carelessness of these things. And you hit it right on the head. This was about making money, getting money, and not caring at all about any sense of reality that, if you give free rein to addicts, they're going to die. They're going to overdose. They can't, that's the whole premise of addiction, that you don't have control over yourself like that. And, they're like, no, 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 this is going to work out really good. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And, funny thing, speaking about AI and Google and all of those things, which I didn't mention Google just a moment ago, but in the past we did. I wanted to pull up some images of Oregon, of Portland specifically, of what it looks like today, right now. So I did a Google search, and according to Google, it looks gorgeous, perfect. If you look now, go do it, guys. Well, don't do it now because we're talking here. But after we're done, go, or you can open up another tab. I'll let you go ahead and open another tab or grab it up on your phone or something. Just go ahead into your Google search, type in Oregon or Oregon today. I think I typed in, what does Portland look like today? And the first, I don't know, like 20 plus pictures were all like beautiful scenic overviews and everything. I mean, you got to dig pretty good to find the gritty pictures of, reality of how things are looking. But listen, I did a live shortly before we came on to record tonight, and several people were checking in, saying, oh, I'm from here, there, all over the place. People as far as Switzerland. How crazy is that? But anyhow,
Cool.
yeah, right. I had several people that happened to be in Oregon, and I told them, I said, "Hey, we're going to be talking about you guys tonight or this week, so make sure you tune in." So you guys from Oregon that were in the live chat, I hope you're in this episode too, and you pipe in. I want to know from you, and I don't know if they can do it in the chat. If it's a possibility, if you can put pictures in. If you've got pictures to show us, we would love to see what your area or that area is looking like right now. So it might be interesting, Clay, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's, this is one of those, everybody wants the instant reaction. They want the instant, like, hey, let's put this in place. Boom, on this day, we're going to legalize all this stuff. And on this day, we're going to fire off all these programs. Well, and I know that one, it's a government operation. So nothing's going to go smoothly. None of it's going to go according to plan. None of it's going to go on time. And it's all going to be under budgeted, right? They're not going to allocate enough money for this. So all of these great programs that are supposed to be funded by all of this, all of these regulated taxed funds that were supposed to come from these drugs, that money's not coming for years. And oh, by the way, the programs don't just pop up overnight. Like, they take years to establish, but they turn the light switch on, and like you said, addicts, users, took advantage. They did what they do.
Sure.
And it's horrible and it's shameful, but it was allowed. Not only was it allowed, it was actually encouraged in a lot of cases. Oh, keep using, we'll take care of you. We'll get you into a program, blah, 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 blah. It'll use under supervision, right? It's all of those things they wanted to do. And what ended up happening, what everybody with any amount of common sense knew was going to happen. It got out of control and people died. More people died than were dying before. So they've got to shut it off. They have no other option, period. But you're still going to have people who believe that this is a good idea.
Yeah.
It is. I'm not a fan of this. You will never convince me that this is a good idea. Listen, I'm still on the fence about marijuana, and I know people are going to tell me that I'm old fashioned. I don't think that there's anything wrong, truthfully, with marijuana in and of itself, except for the fact that I am a 100% believer that it is a gateway to other drugs. That's it, right? It's not that that's bad, but what it leads to is bad. And that's why I'm not in support of it. And listen, I've got friends and probably family members who are probably, extended family who are going to listen to this and be like, what is he taught? They smoke. It's a commonality nowadays. There's so many states where it's legal recreationally, and okay, fine. It is what it is. I don't necessarily believe in it. And this is what you get. But you're still going to have people that are going to say, oh, well, this and hallucinogens are okay. And, blah, 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 blah. And then you'll have some people, and this is where I think things get very, very cloudy and gray. This is America. You have your own choice to do what you want.
Right.
Okay. Until you die on the sidewalk, until you're operating a vehicle and
I mean, until you become, and I'm a little bit mean. I'm the first one to admit it. And my husband, if he were in here right now, he'd be going, she's mean. But I'm a little bit mean. And I will honestly say that, I'm kind of like, listen, do what you want to yourself. Do what you want. Do it. I don't know what to tell you, but now you're jeopardizing the health and safety and well-being of other people. Now you are a hazard to me, to my children, my grandchildren. And so help me God, anything happens to them because of what somebody else is doing, impaired, just impaired. They better pray that they don't live. They just better pray that they don't live to tell the story, because they won't. So I am with you. And yes, I'm going to have people, and we'll have people in the comments who are like, oh, stop, you're being dramatic, with the pot and everything. Listen, all I can tell you is I am so sick and tired of every single store, restaurant, street, everywhere you go now, you are bowled over by the reek, the stench of marijuana. everybody is, I smell it everywhere. I was just in a store today and a couple walked by and the smell, like I wanted to throw up. It was so overwhelming and disgusting. And listen, I don't even have anything against pot. I got people in my life will tell you, oh yeah, she had some fun in her day once upon a time. I did. I'm fine with that. That was then, this is now. And I don't want to smell it when I'm walking around. I don't want to smell it from the car driving down the road in front of me and it's coming back from my vents. I just don't,
Cheech and Chong. It's like a
right,
Cheech and
exactly.
Chong
It's like,
movie.
what is going on here? And,
Yes.
and go ahead, comment section. I mean, I can't be the only one experiencing this, noticing this. Every restaurant I go into, that smell comes around the corner or from the next table, and it's disgusting. And, besides all that, so that's just my own aesthetics and all
No,
of that.
that's a real thing though. I mean, my son and I went and played pickup soccer on Sunday, and he's now 18, and we were leaving, and he's been doing this since he was a kid. He looks at me, he goes, drinking a snack. So I had to stop and get gas, right? So stop and get gas. He runs in, he grabs us a couple of sodas and some munchies for the ride. And
Mhm,
there was a group of teenagers at this, it's a nice, gas station convenience store kind of thing. And they're out in the parking
mhm,
lot and they're wandering in and out and blah, blah, blah. And my son comes back and he gets in the vehicle and he says, they all smell like pot, Dad. They were all high,
mm,
every one of them, and I'm like, oh, okay. But 15 kids, 20 kids roaming around, you know?
right.
So you've got that. Oh, by the way, public service announcement for all you old deadheads. Patchouli oil is worse than pot. So don't think that covers anything up. Don't do that either. Oh,
No, please.
all right. So I that's, my, just to go back to the Oregon thing to clean that up. It was a horrible idea to begin with. It was
Yeah.
failure meant to happen. Unfortunately, people died because people were stupid. I'm sorry. It was
Yeah.
a stupid decision.
Mhm,
You can criticize me all you want for being crass. I don't care. It was a horrible decision by that state government, and
mhm.
people paid the price for it. And that's where we're at. And now they've learned an unfortunate lesson that they have to reverse and go backwards so they prevent any more useless death based on
Right.
overdose. Terrible.
Yep, it is. It really is. It's it's awful and so incredibly unsurprising, right along with the whole defund the police. Oh, can we refund the police? No, we're just kidding. All of these ideas and the tip off, guys. And I know our viewers and listeners already know this. But if somebody accidentally strays in here from a different perspective that thinks that these are all good ideas, that agrees with them, that these are all good ideas, here's a little tip off for you. If the government is telling you it's a good thing, there's a great chance that it's not, because it's for them. It's, they're making a do a minute of deep thinking, and it's not even deep thinking, it's just common sense thinking. Like, wait a minute. So the government has been, telling us for years, forever and ever, drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. You're going to jail if you do drugs. Bad, bad, bad. And all of a sudden they go, wait a minute. You can do drugs. It's okay. We'll help you. We'll fund it for you. We'll set up facilities for you. We'll do all of the things. All you have to do is come in and get as high as you want. And oh, by the way, are you a registered voter? Let's help you with that too. Come on, guys. Just smarten up. I just want them to smarten up a little bit. Not even a lot. Just a little.
It's back to Ronald Reagan, the greatest president in our lifetimes, right?
Indeed. Yeah. So, I mean, all of that stuff it's so frustrating, isn't it? Because it is so much of simple, basic common sense of just taking that pause to think about this. Like, think about 5 miles down the road. What is that going to look like? And well, here's what it looks like, you know?
Well, and moving